Welcome to the deep dive, where we try to help you cut through all the noise. We've got a really fascinating stack of sources from you all this time. Lots of different things, research papers, personal notes, even calendar data. And it all seems to circle back to that same challenge, right? How do you get real insights from just this mountain of information you have? So today we're doing a deep dive into your materials. We'll be looking closely at two pretty cutting edge AI tools, ChatGPT Agent and Notebook LM. And we want to figure out how they're really changing the game for research, for organization, and just for understanding our own stuff. Because this isn't just about, the simple chatbots we're used to. These feel more like intelligent assistants that can genuinely boost your workflow. Think of it as a shortcut to being, well, properly informed. Our mission here is to really pull out the unexpected power, the versatility of these AIs. We want to show how they can surface those surprising facts, those aha moments that honestly save a ton of time and just deepen your understanding. So yeah, settle in. We're going to walk through some practical experiments and firsthand accounts, all drawn directly from the sources you sent us. We'll see how people are using these tools day to day, professionally, for everything from detailed market comparisons to just logging personal productivity. And hey, while you're listening, if you find this stuff helpful, definitely hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and please drop us a comment below. Let us know what other topics you want us to tackle next time. We love getting those suggestions.
Okay, so let's start with something. Maybe a common assumption about AI. We're all pretty used to AI giving us quick answers, right? Like almost instant. You ask something, boom, it spits out a response in seconds.
But what if? What if an AI could actually ask you questions to help it get to a better answer for you?
That's a really interesting twist on the usual dynamic.
Exactly. And that's what we're seeing with ChatGPT Agent.
Yeah.
It came up in that cloud storage comparison example you shared.
Yeah, in that test, the user asked for a comparison. Cloud storage services, 10 terabytes, syncing from two local servers. Pretty specific request. And ChatGPT 4.0, which, many of us use, it answered in 2 seconds.
Super fast.
Super fast. Gave 6 options, but it was, well, the source called it a cursory answer, almost like a first draft, really.
Right, just scratching the surface.
But then there was ChatGPT Agent. It took, get this, 12 minutes.
12 minutes. That's a lifetime in AI terms.
It feels like it. But in those 12 minutes, wow, it delivered a report that was just vastly superior.
So what made the difference? Was it just more thorough?
It was more thorough, but the reason it was more thorough is the key thing. It's Agent's ability to ask clarifying questions. So for that cloud storage query, it didn't just run with the initial prompt. It came back and specifically asked about compatibility with Synology servers.
Okay. So it didn't guess, it asked for specifics.
Exactly. And that question, that proactive step, it didn't just give the AI more data to work with. It actually prompted the user to think a bit more deeply about their own needs.
Right. Refining the request itself.
Yeah. So the user gave a more complete instruction, and the result: recommendations that were tailored, really relevant, stuff that 4.0 just completely missed because, well, it didn't ask.
That really does sound more like how a helpful human assistant would operate.
Yeah.
Ask first to avoid doing the wrong word.
Totally. It prevents wasted effort. And the output from Agent was seriously impressive, according to the source. A list of 17 services, detailed table, plans, prices.
Wow, 17.
Yeah, and it sourced the prices directly, like it pulled Google's storage pricing right from a support page. Plus, it had this crucial general considerations section, specific recommendations, a top-line summary.
So not just a list, but context and advice, too.
Right. The source described it as a fully workable briefing, which is just miles away from 4.0's quick cursory answer.
What's really fascinating there is how Agent mimics that genuinely intelligent human interaction. It's not just processing, it's engaging to refine the task itself. And that raises a really important question for all of us, doesn't it? How much more effective can our tools become when they actually help us clarify our own thinking first?
It changes the whole relationship.
It really does. It moves from just getting information dumped on you to more of a collaborative discovery process.
Yeah, collaboration. That's a great word for it. So, okay, you get these amazing detailed reports from something like Agent. What's the next step? What do you actually do with them? And this is where Notebook LM comes into the picture, showing some incredible versatility, way beyond just standard research, actually.
Right. Notebook LM started, I think, with a focus on making research easier, helping academics, generating those audio summaries of long papers and things like that.
Exactly. That was the initial buzz. But the sources you shared, they highlight some really unconventional ways people are using it now, like really integrating it into daily life.
Like what?
Well, for instance, Some folks are feeding it their financial data, spreadsheets, bank statements, whatever,
Okay.
and they're using it to track and analyze spending habits,
Hmm.
pinpointing where they might be overspending or maybe finding opportunities to save.
Huh. Using AI as a personal finance advisor, essentially.
Kind of.
Yep.
And others are using it to learn programming languages. They feed it tutorials, code snippets, practice exercises, their own notes.
Right, creating a personal knowledge base.
Exactly. And then they can ask it quick questions when they get stuck on a concept instead of constantly having to Google every little thing. It's like having a tutor on demand trained on the material you're using.
That makes a lot of sense.
These uses, they really show NotebookLM acting as a true second brain, or maybe a personalized learning assistant.
Yeah, it's not just storing facts passively, it's making them interactive and useful for you.
Right. It takes that burden of just raw memorization and recall off your plate. So your actual brain can focus on the more creative stuff, the higher level thinking, because your second brain has all the details ready.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, NotebookLM really demonstrates how AI can be this deeply personal productivity tool.
Mm.
It's not just about crunching big data sets or summarizing news articles anymore. It's about transforming your own raw data, your finances, your learning notes, whatever, into knowledge you can use immediately, tailored precisely to your goals.
Making knowledge actually work for you.
Exactly, in ways maybe we didn't even expect initially.
Okay, so building on that idea of personal data, what does this mean for understanding ourselves, our own time, our habits? This is where one source got really innovative. They figured out a way to turn their Google Calendar into a personalized daily log system, using NotebookLM, of course.
Google Calendar, how does that work? Calendars are usually pretty structured data.
Yeah, it's surprisingly straightforward, but the results are quite profound. So here's the process described in the source. First, you export your Google Calendar, just as a standard .iccs file.
Okay, yeah, that's a common format.
Then you need to convert that file into plain text. The source mentioned using TextEdit on a Mac, but any basic text editor works. Or, even easier sometimes, just convert it to a PDF.
Got it. Text or PDF.
Right. And then you take all that text, or the PDF, and you load it into a NotebookLM notebook. You can copy-paste the text into a Google Doc first and upload that, or just upload the PDF directly.
Seems simple enough.
It is, but here's a little warning. If you've been using Google Calendar for years, like many of us have, these files can get huge.
I can imagine. Years of entries.
The example in the source, their calendar started in 2022. The resulting Google Doc was 662 pages long.
Wow. Okay, so you need a robust tool to handle that.
Definitely. So once this massive file was inside NotebookLM, the user gave it a really simple prompt, something like, turn my calendar data into a daily log-style summary for the past few weeks. Just listing activities, times, event types.
And what did it come back with?
The insights were incredibly specific and personal. It actually noted a clear shift in the user's schedule from academic stuff to more professional work during their summer break.
Huh. It picked up on seasonal changes in activity type.
Yeah. It identified Monday as their busiest day, which is maybe not surprising for many of us.
Tell me about it.
But it even observed that the user specifically time blocks breaks, like for showers and naps. And NotebookLM actually commented on it, saying they were, quote, taking breaks often to stay grounded.
That's slightly uncanny.
Awesome.
An AI commenting on your self-care habits based on your calendar.
Right. It's like an AI life coach analyzing your schedule, but then it gets even more transformative. NotebookLM has this audio overview feature.
Ah, yes, the synthesized voice summary.
Exactly. So the AI's virtual hosts took this entire calendar history, all 662 pages worth, and turned it into an engaging, narrated audio summary.
Okay, now I'm really curious. What did the audio version highlight?
It pulled out even deeper insights. It highlighted recurring patterns over longer periods, pointed out significant life events it inferred from the calendar, like key exams, the start of college, even the beginning of a writing career noted in the entries.
It's reconstructing a narrative from calendar data points.
Precisely. It even observed how the user's calendar, looking forward, quote, exploded beyond 2025, with a heavy focus shifting towards tech journalism based on future entries. It's like having this incredibly insightful, impartial narrator for your own life story, derived just from your digital footprint.
You know, that really brings up important thoughts about self-reflection. Our digital trails, like a calendar, they hold such rich narratives about us, often ones we don't consciously see ourselves. And NotebookLM's ability to not just summarize, but to actually narrate and analyze this personal data, almost conversationally, that fundamentally changes how we can perceive our own journey, our productivity, our choices.
It's a mirror, but an analytical one.
It really is a powerful tool for self-discovery, showing you how you actually spend your time, which can be quite different from how you think you spent it.
Absolutely. So imagine taking that same analytical power and applying it to your professional life, to your work documents.
Yeah.
For so many people, Microsoft Word is, essential. But trying to pull insights across multiple Word docs, that can be a real headache.
Oh, definitely. Searching through folder after folder, trying to connect information from different reports or notes, it's tedious.
Exactly. And the sources you shared suggest NotebookLM offers a pretty transformative solution here too, even with Word files. The core problem is clear, right? A Word is great for creating individual documents, but it really falls short when you need to synthesize information, spot themes, or just find specific facts across a whole library of related files.
Yeah, like that client website project example mentioned in the sources. You've got meeting notes, marketing plans, content drafts, competitor analysis, all separate Word docs. Finding one specific detail can take ages.
It becomes this slow manual process. Now, obviously, Word is Microsoft, NotebookLM is Google, so there's no direct, built-in integration.
Right, they don't talk to each other natively.
But the workaround, according to the sources, is pretty simple. Users just export their Word files as PDFs, or maybe .txt files, or they upload them to Google Docs first.
And then import those into NotebookLM.
Exactly. It's an extra step, yeah, but apparently minor compared to the benefits you get afterwards, because the real magic happens once those documents are inside NotebookLM.
Because then you can query across everything at once.
Precisely. You can ask questions that span all the sources within that notebook, no matter how many Word docs you originally imported. So that Swami Joel's website project example, the user uploaded all those different Word docs as PDFs, overview, meeting notes, marketing plan, etc., into one NotebookLM notebook.
Okay, a dedicated project space.
Right. And then, instead of digging through files, they could just ask NotebookLM things like, what are the key takeaways from all the client meetings about design preferences?
Synthesizing across multiple meeting notes instantly.
Or summarize the proposed budget for digital marketing from all the relevant documents, or even generate a quick briefing document outlining the core features of the website.
That's incredibly powerful for project management.
Totally. Get me the project timeline for phase 2, stuff like that. And the key is the responses are accurate, and crucially, they're cited directly back to the specific source document.
You can trust the answer and verify it easily. Saves hours.
Hours and hours. Plus, that audio overview feature works here too. It can summarize the entire project notebook or just specific themes like a marketing strategy in an easy-to-listen-to format.
And collaboration must be easier too, right? If the whole team can access these synthesized insights.
Big time. Instant access to summaries and the underlying source materials. It's a step up from something like, say, Microsoft's Copilot, which, as the sources know, often tends to focus its analysis within a single document. NotebookLM really shines when connecting the dots across multiple, potentially disparate sources.
Yeah, that distinction is important. This really highlights a fundamental shift, I think. We're moving away from just having static, siloed documents toward creating these dynamic, interactive knowledge bases out of our own work. It empowers you to actually query your own archives, your own project history, turning your entire document library into something searchable, something insightful. It's just a much more connected, intelligent, and frankly productive way to work with all the content you already have, unlocking value that was previously hidden or just too hard to get at.
So true. Okay, so we've seen ChatGPT Agent digging deep and asking questions, and we've seen NotebookLM synthesizing and analyzing everything from calendars to massive project folders, powerful tools on their own. But what happens when you combine them, when you cross the streams, so to speak?
The synergy question.
Yeah. And according to one expert whose account you shared, what you get is potentially AI's first magical combo.
Ooh, magical combo. Intriguing. What was the experiment?
Super straightforward, actually. They just took one of those detailed research reports generated by ChatGPT Agent, like that cloud storage comparison we discussed earlier, and fed it directly into NotebookLM.
So using the output of one advanced AI as the input for another.
Exactly. And the outcome was pretty remarkable. NotebookLM took the agent's detailed report, it processed it, broke it down into its own kind of understandable structure. And according to the source, it even added some value on top of what was already a very comprehensive report from Agent.
Interesting. So it wasn't just summarizing, it was enhancing.
It seems so. And think about the efficiency gain here. Agent took, what, 12 minutes for its report?
Right.
Notebook LM then took maybe 10 minutes or so to generate its audio overview of that agent report.
Okay.
So you listen to that, say, 14-minute audio overview, and in less than 45 minutes total, from initial query to listening to the summary, you've got a very strong overview of a complex topic that was deeply researched.
That is incredibly efficient. 45 minutes for that level of synthesized insight.
Right. The source suggested this kind of workflow, this combination, can completely shift how someone views AI. You might go from being skeptical, maybe frustrated by AI's occasional boneheaded moves, as they put it,
We've all seen those.
to suddenly recognizing that, wow, this is genuinely next level. This combination allows for deep research and deep analysis at speed. It's not just the sum of the parts, it feels like something more.
Yeah, that combination really does showcase the power of specialized AI capabilities working together. Agent brings the research depth, that structured analysis, drilling down into the specifics. And then NotebookLM comes in and synthesizes that complex information. And critically, it makes it accessible, digestible, even through audio, which is huge for many people.
Yeah, the audio part is key.
It creates this incredibly efficient pipeline. You go from scattered data or a complex request all the way to deep, actionable understanding much, much faster than before. It dramatically accelerates that journey from just information overload to genuine insight.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, looking back at all the sources you sent, it's really clear, isn't it? Tools like ChatGPT Agent and NotebookLM are moving way beyond simple Q&A.
Absolutely.
They're becoming these much more sophisticated assistants. They can proactively clarify what you need. They can synthesize enormous amounts of information. And they can even, kind of amazingly, narrate insights drawn directly from your specific stuff, your calendar, your work files.
Yeah, the personalization is key.
It really is. And the real power, maybe the main takeaway here, isn't just in the individual bells and whistles. It's in their ability to interact with the data you already have and to integrate pretty smoothly, actually, into your existing workflows, offering these surprisingly effective, sometimes really unconventional ways to manage information, to learn new skills, and just gain much deeper insights into both your professional and your personal life. It's about making all that knowledge you're surrounded by not just accessible, but truly understood and ultimately actionable.
Well said. Turning information into understanding and understanding into action.
So here's maybe a final thought to leave you with, something to mull over as these tools keep evolving. What hidden stories, what profound patterns might be lurking inside your own digital files? You know, those old notes you saved, your personal calendar going back years, all those work documents piling up. What insights are just sitting there waiting for these kinds of intelligent assistants to finally reveal them to you?